So find your space. Shake it out. Shifting your weight from side to side. Hands over your head. Turning your waist. Big circles out front. Kind of slightly inclined forward so that your arms don't whack into you. Little circles, big circles, circles with your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders a bit. Lifting and dropping shoulders now. Lift and drop, twisting motions with your hands, pumping with your legs. Panting breath, exhaling as you go down. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Swing arms. Inhale up, exhale down. As you inhale up, squeeze shoulder blades together and back. And as you exhale down, slightly round your shoulders so you hollow your chest. Side to side. Inhale to center, exhale as you swing out. Turning, gently twisting. Exhale to bounce your arms off your body. So when you're in the swing to here, inhale and then exhale as you're coming in to bounce the hands off the torso, the lower torso especially. Now with this exercise, the basic one, this is known as knocking on the gate of life. As you do this, you're contacting in back the Meng Man and in front the Dantian. And these are two major acupuncture points or psychic points in the body. And you can also go swing a little bit more vigorously so your hand comes up to your shoulder. And then 1 foot forward, same thing, shifting forward and back, turning the waist, switch feet, exhale as your hands contact or slightly before to meet the expansion of your belly to the contraction of your arms. So as your arms come in, your belly goes out for the breath. Then, feet in parallel. Spread your toes, settle them, connect the pads behind the toes, connect the bubbling well point, kidney 1 in the meridian system of acupuncture, just behind the ball of the foot, the outside edge of each foot and the heel. Soften the backs of the knees. Tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin, lengthening the crown up. Lightly squeeze your shoulder blades together and back to start. Sink your shoulders, sink your elbows, float your wrists. And then sink down into your heels, rock forward on the inside of the feet, plucking up. Draw it up to the height of your shoulders, relax the hands as they come in. Lotus palms, so they spread the fingers wide. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your chin as you sink, lengthening up to the crown as you sink your hands and sink in your legs. Then relax your hands, pluck on the way up, rising out of the legs to the height of your shoulders. Relax your hands, willow leaf palms, drawing in, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back, inhaling down. Exhale out and up. Inhale in and down. As you rise, hollow the chest. As you draw in and sink, squeeze your shoulder blades together and back. Tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth throughout the exercises. So you have 3 different hand positions. The pluck, which can be done in a variety of ways. The thumb in between the middle and the ring finger, or all of the fingers touching the thumb tip. So that's the pluck on the way up. Or your hand can be in this configuration, which is like the beak of a bird, the beak of a crane. So that's the pluck. Then you relax the hand, that's the willow leaf palm, as you draw in. So the hand is relaxed, and then like a wave in the hand, you spread your fingers wide, that's lotus palm. That's like full blossoming of energy, of life force. And then you keep your fingers spread on the way down, so it gets more intense. As you go down, you keep your fingertips lifted, so the wrist is activating tremendous connective tissue. So the connective tissue throughout this fingers, the wrist, into the elbow, and then potentially into the shoulder. By the time you get down and you've squeezed your shoulder blades together, then you release, and then you're in a release is like the willow leaf palm again, and then into pluck. Okay, then of course, tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. If you need to hold on to something, feel free to do so. But if you can, just start by swinging your leg small in the beginning, and then build up the height of the swing. Inhale as you swing the leg back, exhale as you swing the leg forward. And then the other side. And just let your arms swing naturally in opposition. So the opposite arm goes forward at the same time as the swinging leg. And the same side arm goes back as the leg swings forward. And then switch to the other side, touching in front and back with the opposite hand now, as best as possible. And the other side. And then switch, both hands in front, both hands in back. And the other side. And then looking up, inhaling, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back. Exhale as you let your head drop down, rolling your shoulders forward, hollowing the chest. Inhale up, exhale down. And we want to move at and breathe at that 5-second interval. So that 5-second inhalation, 5-second exhalation puts us into the parasympathetic aspect of the autonomic nervous system and creates a change of chemical releases like human growth hormone as we spend time in that 5-second interval breathing. It's the rest and digest modality. Then side to side, as you come to center, hollow your chest. And then as you look to the side, squeeze your shoulder blades together and back. Exhale to center, kind of relaxing the shoulders. Inhale as you look to the side, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back. Exhale to front, releasing, relaxing. Inhale, gently stretching. And these exercises that we're doing with the head increase circulation to the brain and also circulation of qi to the belly, to the dantian. And then swinging from side to side. Exhale as you swing down. Inhale as you swing up. Hollow the chest, rolling your shoulders forward as your head drops. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together and back as you go to the side. One of my teachers used to say, you wake up and you go to sleep. You wake up and you go to sleep. You get active and you get relaxed. And then go all the way around the circle. Inhale as you go back, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back. Exhaling as you roll forward, hollowing your chest. And the other direction. And of course, the Tai Chi warm-ups are meant as a basic kind of set of Qigong, really. Qigong means energy study. Tai Chi Chuan is a type of energy study. And also, it's used as a self-diagnostic tool. Then, shoulder, swimming a backstroke. As you shift your weight from side to side, this movement, besides being a great warm-up, also has the potential for use as a martial technique of sort of evading a punch. You can imagine if a strike was coming for my head here and I turn, or a push is coming, I turn my body and shift my weight. So that becomes, you become invisible to them in a sense. You become untouchable. If they're coming to push you here, for example, or even if they're coming to push at center, then you can deflect by simply turning and shifting. And the other direction, swimming forward now, coming up the back and down the front, breathing fully. And then both shoulders up the front and down the back. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, down and forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and back, and then hollow your chest as you roll forward. It's like rowing a boat. And the other direction, up the back and down the front. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, forward and down. Then fists together. Pull twice, squeezing your shoulder blades together and back. Palms up, doing the same. Then thumbs down, high, low, low, high. Pull twice, palms up, high, low, low, high. One more time. Pull twice, palms up, high, low, low, high. Then fists together, turning twice in one direction, twice in the other direction, with the sound of ha, 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 ha. Then holding hands, offering resistance. Ha, 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 ha. Then the next movement is called white crane, spreads wings. Your lower body, from the hips down, you're going to step forward with the foot and just touch the toes. Then bring it back, shift, empty step, touching the toes, bring it back, shift, empty step, bring it back, shift, empty step, bring it back, shift. Good. Now the upper body does something entirely different in the sense that it has, if you start here, and this is not a stopping point, but as you take one hand down, okay, the palm is down and fingers point forward. The high hand is above your head, pointing to the other side with your palm up, or actually palm out for this one. There's another version of it that does the same thing, palm up. So your hands cross, the rising hand comes up the inside, the falling hand goes down on the outside. And here you can breathe. Tai Chi breathing is often debated, which way to breathe. You can either inhale and squeeze your shoulder blades together and back, and exhale as you relax to center. Inhale, exhale, or you can do the opposite. You can exhale as you spread your wings and inhale to center. Either way is fine. Then when you put the two together, whatever foot you step forward with, that same side of the body hand goes down. The back foot hand goes up. So when you switch, you draw the front foot in, your hands come past your heart, you step forward, and the stepping forward foot side of the body hand goes down. So forward foot, low hand on the same side of the body. When the hand gets down, the palm is down, fingers lifted. The high hand, fingers are lifted, and your palm is out. And it's a gentle stretch. So as you spread your wings, squeeze your shoulder blades together and back. Then twist your body towards the front foot low hand side. Low hand still palm down, fingers pointing to your bottom now, and it's the front foot side, low hand side that you're turning towards. The high hand is above your head, fingers pointing behind you, palm up. So here, if you inhale to center and exhale as you twist, or do exactly the opposite, but stay consistent. Then tip your head to one side, reach down, stretching this region right here. There are gallbladder points and some other points up here in the meridian system that are being triggered. Open and close the fist and nod. This is very good for tension, headaches, again, increasing circulation to the head and the brain. Breathing fully, opening and closing the fist as you nod your head. And the other side, tip your head over, open and close the fist, and nod. Breathing fully. Then pull one hand over, tip your head the same way, and nod again. This amplifies the previous stretch. And then pull the other hand across, tip your head that way, and nod once more. Now, the nodding can be just a little bit of a nod, or you can kind of gently and slowly do the full back and full forward nod. Take it nice and slowly. Then raise one hand, palm up, out to the side, point your fingers down, rotate the thumb back so it's pointing to the back wall, tip your head away, push the heel of the palm away, and nod your head. This dredges the large intestine meridian. So it's helpful for stimulating your digestive processes, elimination processes. And the other side, palm up, fingers down, tip your head away, and nod. Then focus on your rib cage. As your chest goes forward, squeeze your shoulder blades together and back. Go to the side, and as your chest goes back, you're hollowing the chest, your shoulders roll forward, and your arms kind of come forward a bit. So your shoulders and elbows move in the opposite direction from where your chest moves. So as you're going forward with your chest, your shoulders and elbows go back. As you go back with your chest, your shoulders and elbows go forward. Inhale as your chest goes forward. Exhale as your chest goes back. So when you're doing this kind of a movement and the kind of breath work that we're doing with the movement of your shoulder blades together and back and then hollowing the chest, it stimulates the Sheng Qi point, which is governing vessel 12 in the center of the back between the shoulder blades. We go the other direction, let's go the other direction. Even if we have, I want to talk a little bit about this, so that when the chest is moving and when you're either hollowing the chest or squeezing the shoulder blades together and back, you're activating that particular point, which is where the energy splits and goes on the outside of the arms and then comes back on the inside. Okay, now rotate your hips, gentle circle. Close hand fist, the other hand covers. So whenever you press in on your dantian, you're going to stimulate greater sensitivity to your balance and centeredness and equilibrium. Now, coming back to that point, and if you were to reach over your head, about, for most people, unless they've had damage to their shoulders and elbows, the point is about where your middle finger can touch the spine and that vertebra right in there. And that's that Sheng Chi point, Sheng Chu, and it is where the energy is said to kind of transform from just kind of the biological general kind of feeding of the lung with blood and oxygen. It's a point for connectivity of those of the lungs, other direction, to the movement of oxygen through the system. So that's one aspect of this, but it's also said to be where your qi can transform into jing, which can transform into shen. So what that means is internal energy transforming to usable external energy, transforming to spiritual energy, and which is like super consciousness, if you will. Then sitting into your legs, rolling your hips, coming up the back and down the front. And if you put your hands on your hips to start, you'll notice that the hip is going to move with the shoulder, right? So the shoulders are moving in concert with, in harmony. In fact, they're part of what are called the 6 harmonies. Hips and shoulders, that's 1. Elbows and knees, that's 2. Hands and feet, that's 3. And ultimately, head and pelvis is 4. So those are the 4 actual connective harmonies. So they're actually what we call 8 harmonies. Now, as you do this, roll a ball between your hands, turning it over on the side, carrying it across the front. Turn it over on the side, carrying it across the front. And then go the other direction, coming up the front and down the back, rolling the ball. And this is actually a major Tai Chi movement right here. It's used both for meditation. It's also used for martial application. And just pay attention to the energy playing between your hands. Especially becomes evidential to you as you slow it down. Slow your breathing down. Inhale as you turn the ball over. Exhale as you bring it across the front. Inhale on the side, turning it over. Exhale as you carry it across the front. Your hands may start to tingle. Find the distance between your hands that gives you the greatest sensitivity to the energy. Good. And then feet together, little circles with your knees. So today I'd like to talk to you about energy, other direction, and I'd like to take you through an exercise that is known as the microcosmic orbit. And then open out, inside, forward, outside, back. So if you think of an orbit, the macrocosmic orbit would be like the moon orbiting the Earth. That's an energetic orbit. The Earth orbiting around the sun. That's an energetic orbit. And take a nice deep breath. Let's go ahead and we're going to let go of some of the other exercises. because I'd like to get us into this, because we had a little bit of a late start. I want to have a little time with that. So I'm going to sit. You can sit for this. There will be movement, and I'll talk about this in a minute once you're situated. So as you sit, you want to get as comfortable as possible, feet on the ground, hands on your knees. And this set, by the time we're finished with it, most people find that they get really hot, they get really warm, because the energy is going to stimulate the entire system. Now, this can be done from a place of total stillness, but generally, the energy starts to grow inside you. You cultivate the chi as you move it with your mind along this circuit of the conception vessel, which is the meridian that runs from the lower lip down to the groin and to the perineum. We call it the herein cavity. And then the coccyx up the back over the crown to the upper lip. That is the governing vessel. So those two meridians are the prime meridians of the body, and the others are, travel out through all the fingers and toes and so forth. So this is a primary one, and this is called the small circulation. And so this energy moves along along that pathway. It's what becomes one pathway. So along the way, in moving the energy with our minds, there will also be a physical movement that will manifest for most people. And what I mean by that is that you might be, as you sit, you might start in a place of stillness, but as you begin to move the energy up the back and down the front, you may begin to find that your body starts to undulate very naturally. You don't have to push it, but it will start to happen. And some people get all the way to a down and up position with this, so that you're really working the spine. It can be total stillness, or it can be as big of a movement as you want to make, and it should be associated with the movement of the energy as you do it. It will happen naturally. You just have to kind of allow it. So with your feet firmly on the ground, hands on your knees, we're going to be focusing our attention. So this is about the use of the mind to move the energy. And before we even get to this, I want to demonstrate this because I think you'll find this interesting. I'd like you to look at your hands, okay? Now, right here where the wrist bends, you see that line, right? Right where your hand and wrist meet and they bend from the forearm to the wrist, right there. There's a line right there, right? What I want you to do is line those two lines up. As you look, bring the heels of your palms together and then bring your palms together so that you're in kind of a prayer position. And as you do that a couple of times. So you see the lines, you roll them in on each other, and you bring your hands together in the prayer position. Now, some people, as you look, see which one is the bigger. A lot of times, like I'm right-handed, your dominant hand will often be bigger than the other hand, barring, loss of parts. So roll the hands in and look at them and compare. If they're equal, that's fine. If they're different, take the long, if there's difference and your fingers are, say, like here, and you've got one that's, a lot further, a lot longer, put that hand down. Okay? If they're equal, put your dominant hand down. Put your non-dominant hand or the shorter finger hand in the air. Now, I want you to focus on your breathing. And as you focus on your breathing, I want you to begin to imagine that the breathing is definitely getting deeper. And as you breathe, I want you to imagine that your fingers are growing on the hand that's in the air. And every time you breathe out, imagine that you're blowing air into the balloon of your hand. So as you exhale, imagine that the air is going into the hand like a balloon and it's blowing up. The hand that's down, just ignore it. So the hand that's in the air, as you breathe in and you breathe out, imagine blowing the hand up like a balloon. Lengthening it, look at your hand, imagine it getting bigger and bigger. Imagine your fingers growing longer and longer in the hand that's in the air. Breathing fully. Every time you inhale, imagine the space between the joints is opening in the hand that's in the air. Every time you exhale, imagine that you're blowing the hand up and that the musculature is expanding, lengthening, widening. The whole hand is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, breathing into it. As you exhale, imagine those fingers getting longer and longer and longer, like little balloons filling up with air. Fingers like little sausages getting bigger and bigger and bigger, filling up with blood. Inhale fully. Exhale, lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Let's do 2 more breaths. Inhale. Lengthen the fingers, see them lengthen, see them opening, see the fingers getting bigger and bigger. One more time. And as you exhale, lengthen those fingers, lengthen those fingers, lengthen those fingers. And then bring your hands together. I'll bet they're different colors. Roll the wrists in on themselves on those lines. And notice, is the hand bigger on the side that was in the air? Okay. That's an example. Generally about 90% of a group will have experienced a tremendous change in their bodies at that point. So if you didn't, that's okay. But if you did, it demonstrates that your mind can control energy of the body and change blood flow, because you can change the heart rate, you can change the breath, and anytime you alter your breathing, you alter your consciousness. Anytime. Okay, now back to the microcosmic orbit. Hands on your knees, feet on the ground, comfortable. Lengthen up to your crown. Now, I want you to focus your attention. Put your mind in your belly. Right here, a little bit below your belly button, it's called the dantian. Imagine that there is a sun there. It's huge light. It's a pinpoint, like if you look at the sun, it's really rather small, but the light is big because it's expanding in all directions. So imagine in your belly, there is a sun that's warm and it's spreading light, and that light could spread out through the insides of your legs, going through the legs all the way to the outside of the legs, in through your belly, into your spine, out through your arms. It could go that way. It could expand out like you're a star, but I want you to focus your attention now. Feel and see and sense and imagine the chi of that moment moving down to the perineum, down to the root chakra, point between the anus and the genitalia. We call it the heath cavity. Now focus there and imagine that your root chakra is totally being fulfilled with all of its needs are being fulfilled. Everything that you need is being provided to you. All of the food, all of the shelter, all of the money. You've got plenty of everything. Whatever you need, water, food, oxygen, all things that you want are coming to you. Anything that you have a need for is being given to you in this moment. Then bring your attention up to the coccyx, the very tip of your tailbone, and imagine the tail that's behind you, your personal history included. So everything that you've ever experienced in your life, everything that your subconscious mind has assisted you in growing your present moment, that history, that tail that's behind you is now completely and totally fulfilled with awareness. And then bring your energy up between the kidneys, the mengmen. It's just below or in the kidney area between the two kidneys. Then bring your attention, and as you're doing that, imagine the whole life force. Kidneys are supposed to be the dynamic factor for life force in the body. They're storehouses for the qi. Now bring that energy up to the mid-back, that shengchu, the point that we talked about between the shoulder blades. And as you point your attention there, begin to get a sense that it's almost like the backside of your heart chakra, so that your heart energy is dynamic and you're open to really be able to embrace your life and the aliveness of everything around you. And then bring that energy, that ball of light, up to the back of the neck, to what's called the jade pillow, the back of the skull. So back of the neck, back of the skull area. So back of the neck would be the back of the throat chakra. The back of the head now is the jade pillow, the medulla oblongata, and so forth. So you have all sorts of brain activity that's associated there. Then bring your attention up to the crown chakra and feel that heat radiate out in all directions, like your 1,000-petaled lotus. The 1,000 points of the meridian system throughout the entire body connect to the crown chakra, the Niwan and Byway points. Then imagine that blossom is opening, 1,000-petaled lotus. Each petal is an acupuncture point, and it's an awareness of your consciousness opening to the universe. Then bring your attention to the forehead, the third eye, stimulating the pituitary gland, the pineal gland. As you're at the pineal gland there, it is like a third eye that's opening. And imagine that you can wink your third eye, and that you wink with your third eye, allowing you to open more to your utmost spiritual nature, to your mental capacities, increasing your brain's functioning, increasing your mind's potential for activating along proper lines of thinking, right thought, one of the eightfold path of the Buddha. Then bring your attention down to the upper lip. That's governing vessel point there, as all of those coming up the back were. Then bring your attention to the lower lip and imagine that your lips, the place where you communicate, using your lips both for romance, for kissing, for tasting in your mouth, for communicating words outwardly, singing and so forth. That's where it's the mouthpiece, it's the releasing place. Then bring your energy and entering place. Bring your energy down to your throat chakra and see it opening. See that you're able to communicate, feel that you're able to communicate with the world dynamically. Then bring the energy down to your heart chakra. Feel that blossom, that lotus, that type of flower opening in your heart to yourself, to your spirit, to your body, to all people, to your loved ones, the people that you love, your family, your friends, your sweetheart, all people everywhere, all creatures everywhere, to the life force, open to the universe with innocence. Then bring your energy down to the solar plexus and allow your will, your choosing factor for action, your will to be supreme. You tell the truth, and therefore you can make your word law in the universe, and your will is to follow your instincts and follow your intentions by filling your intentions with energy. It's like the solar light coming out through your chest. Then bring your attention down to your belly button. Focus your attention on your navel and connect to your mother through the umbilicus. That connection goes through your mother, to your mother's mother, to your mother's mother's mother, to your mother's 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 mother's, all the way back to the primal beginning. This area is your connection point to all of your ancestors previous to your existence. So honor your ancestors in this area and feel your connection to Big Mama, Mama Earth. Then bring the attention back down to the herein cavity. Now we're going to begin to breathe the movement. So we've been to each of those ports along the river of the streaming movement of the microcosmic orbit. Now you're going to connect the breath. As you inhale, bring the energy up the back, moving through all those points. As you exhale, bring the energy down the front. Inhale up the back to the crown chakra. Exhale down the front to the herein cavity. So as you inhale up the back, you might lift your chin up. As you exhale down the front, you might allow your head to dip and become waveform proficient. Inhaling up the back, exhaling down the front. Inhaling up the back, exhaling down the front. Imagine the energy moving with the breath up the back. Imagine the energy moving down the front with the breath out. Inhale the energy up the back. Exhale the energy down the front. Allowing any movement that your body wants to make, you might find yourself in an undulation. Inhaling up the back, exhaling down the front. Inhaling up the back, exhaling down the front. So now this energy is traveling up the back, point to point to point to point, along that river stream of the meridians. But now begin to imagine that the movement of your breath continues at that rate and maybe speeds up or slows down, depending. But what happens to the energy is it speeds up. The energy, like light, can move fast. You can move the energy fast as thought. So the energy can be coming up the back and down the front, propelled by the breath, but it doesn't have to be just up the back on the inhalation up or exhaling down the front. That still happens, but the energy accrues and the energy begins to move faster and faster and faster until the energy coming up the back and down the front begins to be like a snake that's eating its own tail. So the energy comes up the back and down the front, and it connects so that it's an ongoing, flowing connection that is more like a ring of energy. The energy vibrates up the back and down the front constantly, so that it's not only connected to the breath, but the breath is connecting like a gearing mechanism, and the chain of the gearing system that connects like a bicycle chain up the back and down the front is one. It's one. So as you inhale up, the exhaling down is occurring, but down is coming at the same time as up is coming up. So breathe with it, up the back and down the front, up the back and down the front. The breathing can be fast or slow, but the energy begins to build. It begins to build more and more as you focus the attention up the back and down the front, and you allow any kind of movement that is necessary for you, inhaling up the back, exhaling down the front. Inhaling up the back and exhaling down the front. Fulfill the energy connection. The energy connection up the back and down the front. It's like a snake eating its own tail. It's like a chain. It's like a bicycle chain that's connected so that any energy added to it, like the pedaling of your breath, if you will, amplifies the movement of the energy up the back and down the front, which is happening simultaneously. So energy up the back and energy down the front is the same thing. It's the same energy, and it's happening simultaneously, like that snake eating its own tail, like a bicycle chain where a pedal is pushed and the energy of the chain is moving the gearing of the energy of the body, up the back and down the front. Inhaling up the back, exhaling down the front. And the energy is moving more and more and more through each of those points. Energy building up the back and down the front. Energy building up the back and down the front. Breathing fully, engaging your mind, engaging your imagination. All things that have been created by human beings are come out of imagination. All invention comes out of imagination. Imagination is a physicalized, real thing after time. You use your imagination, and then the things become real. Thoughts are things. Thoughts are things. Energy up the back, energy down the front. Building it, cultivating it, going faster and faster and faster with the energy. The energy is moving faster than thought. The energy is moving faster than thought. It begins to spin energy outward from it. So it's like sparking energy at each of those energy points, up the back and down the front, sparking those energies. So like cities growing with greater levels of population and greater building, greater movement, the civilization, if you will, of the energy of your body is building and growing with each additional movement of the breath, each additional movement of the energy up the back, energy down the front, building the power, up the back and down the front, up the back and down the front. And in a moment, I'm going to stop speaking, and I want you just to pay attention to an inner voice that's like my voice speaking inside your head, my voice speaking inside your head, energizing up the back and down the front, up the back and down the front. Keep your breath active, keep the energy active, and I'm going to stop talking now. And then relax, let go of the exercise, but you may experience that the circuit, the microcosmic orbit, is still happening, because that's what the energy does, even when you're not conscious of it. Notice the sensation in your hands. They might be buzzing, they might feel electric. Notice sensation in your feet, sensation in your arms, sensation in your legs, sensation in your spine, sensation in your belly, in your face. Then wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, open your eyes, rub your hands together, get them hot, 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 and then rub your face around your eyes, alongside your nose, roots of your upper teeth, roots of your lower teeth, ears, head. Put the thumbs at the bottom of the skull, the jade pillow, pushing up, fingers pulling down on the crown, like you're going to crack open the egg of your head, revealing your inner being, like you're coming out of your shell. And then rub your neck, shoulder, other shoulder, elbow, other elbow, wrist, other wrist. Interlace your fingers and roll your hands. Interlace them the non-habitual way and roll them the other way. Torso up and down. Then scooch forward in your chair, lower back. And then down the backs of the legs to the knees, up to the hips, down the back of the leg to the knee, up the knee to the hip in front and inside. Repeat. Again, the movement of your body is almost like a movement of rowing a boat. And then down the back of the leg to the heels, from the ankles up the shins to the knees, down the calves to the heels. Repeat. And then press your feet to the ground, hands on your knees. Lift your bottom off the chair. Let your head dangle, roll up to the spine, leaving your head for last. And then stomp and clap. And rub your body. any place that needs it. And lift your toes, kick 3 times in front. Lift your toes, kick 3 times in front. Lift your toes, kick 3 times to the side. 3 times to the side. Lift the toes, kicking behind you 3 times. And then shake it all out. All right. Let's check in and see what happened. My guess is you're probably warmer than you were. How do you feel? Observations.